products that come. The company has two other divisions that they have started, and one of those is essential oils. And when they decided to get into essential oil space about 2 years ago, they wanted to make sure that they did it at the highest level. Everything we have is at the top of the food chain, period. And so with essential oils, we decided to set a whole new standard in that industry. And I've got a young lady that's going to share a few things related to essential oils. She knows a whole lot more about them than I do, even though I use some of them. Carrie? This is Carrie Davis, right? Yeah. Carrie's going to share like a mixologist, right?
We do mixologies,
okay, yeah. She knows a lot more about essential oils. I want her to share like kind of what she sees with this, the importance of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I started using essential oils about 3 years ago. I have a son who was 12 years old then, who has Tourette syndrome. Connor had never been medicated just because we don't like medicines. We were scared of the side effects. But 3 years ago, when his tics were at their worst, we had to do something. He didn't know I was filming this, but this is what life was like for Connor. You get the idea. As long as he was awake, every 3 to 5 seconds, this is what Connor dealt with. We finally talked to his neurologist and said we have to have some help. They gave him a prescription. And because Connor has always had tremendous anxiety when it comes to medicine, he started to have panic attacks twice a day before we had to take the medicine. So we have a friend who had kind of traveled this journey with us with Connor who said, don't think I'm a tree-hugging, granola-eating, Birkenstock-wearing hippie, but if I give you some essential oils, would you use them? And I said, does he have to swallow them? She said, no, you put them on his feet and he's good to go. And I said, we will try anything. So the short of the long is that within 2 weeks, 14 days of starting this blend of essential oils, Connor was off of every single one of his medicines. Those Tyrannosaurus Rex type tics were gone, and that was 3 years ago. When essential oils make a difference in the life of your babies, and when you can see so dramatically how they're helping your kids, you become a believer. And that's what happened for us. It's probably been about 6 months ago, my friend Sharon Hatfield said, hey, I know you're already into essential oils. How about trying my Ameo Oils? And I said, nope, I'm good, thank you. And then a couple months later, my friend Christina Green said, hey, let me talk to you about Ameo Oils. And I was like, nope, I'm good, thank you. Finally, a couple of months ago, she said, hey, do you want to go on a girls' night with me to Lexington to hear Dr. Plant and talk about essential oils? And I thought, a girls' night and essential oils, I can't say no to this. And so I went, and when I did, I was given a bottle of 5 milliliter Ameo peppermint. And I thought, this is perfect. I've got my other peppermint in my purse that I've used for 3 years. I'll just compare for myself. So I opened my peppermint, and I smelled it and thought, yes, this is the same peppermint that I've been using for 3 years. Perfect. And I smelled the Ameo peppermint, and the difference in the potency was absolutely remarkable. I was kind of astounded. And I thought, okay, I just made all this up in my head. Let me just do my own little Christina smell. Like, which one smells more powerful? And she pointed to the one, and it happened to be Ameo. And I was like, Monica, you got to smell which one. Which one is more powerful? And she said, the one that happened to be the Ameo. So then I thought, okay, they're seeing which one everybody else is smelling. So I did the, 5-year-old thing where you hide everything behind your back. I did that and mixed them up a few times, and I said to Miriam, okay, which one smells the strongest? And again, it was the Ameo. I went home and made my husband BJ do the same thing. All of our children, my parents did this, and time after time after time, everybody chose the Ameo oil that was stronger, right? So maybe our sense of smell was just all weird or something. So I went to, as most of you all know, on the bottom of every bottle of oil, there's a batch number, right? So I went to the Ameo Difference website, I put in that batch number, and up came all the tests that were run on that specific oil. The difference in Ameo oils and the oils that I had been using is that they told me that their oils were 100% pure. They didn't have any way of proving that. With Ameo, You can go to the Ameo Difference website, put in that batch number, see every single oil, every single test that was run on that oil, the results of those tests, and you can see a video about how that specific oil interacts before, during, and after with live cells. No other brand that I've ever had experience with will produce those results. In addition, I learned that clearly to my olfactory senses anyway, the Ameo was a stronger, purer oil. I saw all the test results. That showed me that Ameo was a stronger, purer oil. When I found out that the price difference in what I had been using and the Ameo oils was essentially none, what reason could I possibly have not to go ahead and make the switch? And so I did, and I have just been so blessed. But don't take my word for it. You know, I've got a great story, I think. But take the word of my friend Sarah Simonik, who had a friend who had never used oils before, but whose son had had a cough for 3 weeks that wouldn't go away. Sarah said, I can hook you up. And she gave her some soothing air and said, even use my diffuser overnight in your son's room. Just diffuse some of this in your son's room. And the next day she called her and said, Sarah, my son has not had a night of uninterrupted sleep without coughing in 3 weeks, and he did last night. I need this kit. Take the word of my friend Ashley, who is an oncology nurse, who said, I've got a sinus infection, what can I do? I gave her a blend, she used it, she was a believer instantly, but her husband, no offense men, but maybe like a lot of husbands, was a little skeptical. And he said to her, oh, when he got home from work, I've got a headache. And she said, do you want some peppermint? And he was like, no, I don't want your peppermint. And then he came back a few minutes later and was like, okay, I'm desperate. I'll try your peppermint. It's not going to work, but I'll try your peppermint. And he came back to her very sheepishly about 30 minutes later and said, okay, I'm sad to say, but your peppermint worked. Don't just take those examples. Take the example of my friend Sonia, who I just talked with last night, who has a 16-year-old son with autism, who I let her borrow my Basic 9 kit for several days. And she didn't know that her son even realized that she had been using these oils for a couple of days, but she did notice that her son's acne over the last few days had tremendously improved. And she even said to him, like, your skin looks so much better. And he said, well, yeah, I read all that information about those oil things that you have, and I've mixed up a bunch of stuff on a cotton ball, and I've been using it twice a day. She said, what did you use? He said, I don't even know. I just mixed a bunch of stuff together, and here we are. Not only did he have a clearer face, but she could see, as a mother does, the confidence level in her son that tremendously, 2 days, y'all, 2 days, and because of the improvement in his skin, the increase in his confidence, she told me last night, I've got to have this stuff, get it for me as soon as you can. And so I'm telling you, not just from my experience, but from the experience of every woman I have shared these oils with, they are the real deal. They are pure. You'll not find a purer kind of oil, and they can change your life.